If you want to start watching cycling, you should start watching with the classics, because every minute is something happening.
So many people out watching.
Right from kilometre zero, it'll be attacking full gas and it'll never really settle down. There's always action, there's always something going on.
They're pretty action-packed, and anything can happen in them.
So the classics differ from the rest of the races throughout the season quite a lot. I think the main thing being that all the classics all of them are one day, so it's all put on the line in that 5, 6, 7 hour period, won and lost in a day.
The cobble classics are very hard. You've got small roads, normally bad weather. Generally, classics riders are of a bigger frame and build.
The classics are the hardest races in the season, because it's the mental preparation, not just the physical preparation to get into those races, it's also the mental preparation, because you just have one day and you worked for that day 365 days, and if it doesn't work out, you have to wait another year to do it again.
The famous sectors are cobbled, and that's where the races are decided.
It's just incredible when you watch the races like 50 years ago, and in the mud, in the rain, and you just see that just the hardest riders and the strongest riders survived.
Yeah, the bikes take a pounding, but they've sort of been built for this race. So, I mean, the problem is the odd crash or two, that's where we can have complications.
We do use different bikes for the classics. We use the Dogma K, also known as the Cob. Big difference between the normal Dogma and the Dogma K is generally the top tube is longer. And also we have a slacker seat angle, so it actually makes it more stable.
The two biggest cobble classics are Flanders and Roubaix.
It's the Belgium lifestyle is cycling, and there's always the funny joke they're making about the classics. It's saying if it's good weather, there's going to be 500,000 people on the road. If it's bad weather, there's going to be 1 million on the road.
Flanders, you're climbing on the cobbles, so it's a totally different feeling to Paris-Roubaix, where you've got speed over the cobbles, and generally the cobbles in Belgium are slightly smaller. So there's not such a massive pounding effect on your hands and your body, but equally you can't get out the saddle if they're damp, and you have to sit in them, and you have to produce a lot of power over them, whereas the cobbles in Roubaix, you're doing 45, 50k an hour over them, and the shock's just going straight through your bike, straight through your hands, yeah, and you're pretty nailed by the end of it.
I think for me, Roubaix is my favourite as opposed to Flanders. I just think, with the whole finishing in the velodrome, it's something a bit different, something no other race on the calendar does.
Win, lose or draw, for everybody who gets to the velodrome in Roubaix, doesn't matter how many times you've done it. It's, that's not what we're there for. We want to win and we want to race well, but there is always a buzz of just coming into that velodrome, and it's the end of a long classics campaign. It's the last cobble classics. It's what you've been, and sometimes you sit in the bus and think I have to wait a whole year to do that again.
Because it's so different and so special kind of thing, you want to race it, and every year you finish it and you think, I'll never do that again, but you get a week down the road and you're like, oh, bring on next year.